Shri Kurmadas Ji was a devout follower of Lord Pandharinath. He lived in the village of Paithan. From childhood, Kurmadas Ji did not have functional hands or feet, and he had to drag his body to move around. He would stay wherever he could and eat whatever was offered to him. His lips constantly chanted the name of the Lord: Ram, Krishna, Hari, Vitthal, Keshav. One day, a discourse was being held in Paithan by the revered Shri Bhanudas Ji Maharaj, the grandfather of Sant Eknath Ji. Shri Bhanudas Ji was a realized saint and devotee, and saint from far and wide attended his spiritual narrations. Crawling on his stomach, Kurmadas made his way to the venue. At that time, Shri Bhanudas Ji was narrating the glory of the Ashadhi Kartik pilgrimage to Pandharpur. Although there were still 4 months left from Kartiki Ekadashi, Kurmadas immediately resolved to embark on the journey. Dragging his body, he began his pilgrimage toward Pandharpur. Such was his love for God. Kurmadas could crawl only about 1 course, roughly 2 miles, in an entire day. At night, he would rest wherever he could and consume whatever food or water he found. For 4 continuous months, he crawled his way until he reached a place called Lahuḻ, which was 7 courses from Pandharpur. The next day was Ekadashi, but it was impossible for Kurmadas to cover the remaining distance. His body was torn and wounded, and he realized he might not survive much longer. Thousands of devotees were passing by on their way to Pandharpur, chanting, Jai Vitthal, Jai Vitthal, Jai Viththala, Jai Viththala. The sight was overwhelming, but Kurmadas, helpless and in immense pain, remained resolute. He thought to himself, if I cannot reach Lord Viththala by tomorrow, can the Lord not come to me? He can do anything. With this thought, he asked a fellow pilgrim to write a letter on his behalf to Lord Vitthal. The letter read, O Lord, your humble servant, who has no hands or feet, lies here. I cannot reach you by tomorrow, so I beseech you to come here and grant me your divine darshan. Please have mercy on me. Kurmadas gave the letter to the pilgrim and requested him to place it at the feet of the Lord. The next day, on Ekadashi, the pilgrim reached Pandharpur and placed the letter at the feet of Lord Vitthal. Meanwhile, at the village of Lahuḻ, Kurmadas waited anxiously, crying out in anguish, O Lord, when will you come? Why have you not come yet? His heartfelt cries reached the ears of the ever compassionate Lord Pandharinath. Accompanied by Sant Jnanadev, Namdev and Savata Mali, the Lord appeared before Kurmadas. Overwhelmed with divine bliss, Kurmadas gazed at his beloved Lord Vitthal with unblinking eyes. Regaining his senses, he somehow managed to hold onto the Lord's feet. From that moment until Kurmadas left his mortal body, Lord Vitthal stayed with him. Blessed by the presence of Sant and the Lord, Kurmadas Ji eventually left his body and ascended to Sri Golok in a celestial chariot. The Vitthal temple at Lahuḻ stands as a testament of the Lord's grace upon Kurmadas Ji. Adjacent to the temple is a well that miraculously filled with water during the Ashadhi pilgrimage, no matter how severe the drought. An extraordinary aspect of Kurmadas Ji legacy is that even the cruel Mughal ruler Aurangzeb who destroyed countless temples, was moved by the saint devotion. Aurangzeb himself ordered the construction of Kurmadas Ji temple and memorial. It is said that the tyrant's heart softened after hearing the story of Kurmadas Ji unwavering love for God. To this day, the temple is served by Brahmins, Kshatriya, and Muslims, each in their own way. A sacred lamp, fueled by cow's ghee, remains perpetually lit at the site, symbolizing the eternal flame of devotion ignited by the Sant.